Once upon a time, long before humans dominated the landscapes, the Earth was a stage for real-life giants, creatures so immense they dwarfed their modern descendants. Ever seen a capybara as big as a buffalo? Or how about a ground sloth that rivals an elephant in size? Picture a crocodile stretching the length of a school bus. These aren't scenes from a fantasy world, but snapshots of Earth's colossal past inhabitants. Today we'll show you the 15 animals that used to be giants. Today we're taking a step back in time to explore some of the most awe-striking creatures that once roamed our planet. We'll see the mighty giants that walked, swam, and ruled the ancient world. And that's not all. Wait until you hear about a snake so vast it could easily encircle a small house. So grab your curiosity, hit subscribe, and let's dive in. 15. Arctodus simus, the short-faced bear. The Arctodus simus, or the short-faced bear, terrorized North America until about 11,000 years ago. This beast was one of the largest terrestrial mammalian carnivores that ever lived, standing up to 12 feet tall on its hind legs and weighing as much as 2,500 pounds. The short-faced bear towered over the modern grizzly bear, which stands about 8 feet tall on its hind legs and weighs up to 790 pounds. Arctodus simus has a broad chest and powerful limbs that made it an exceptional runner, capable of reaching speeds that no human could hope to escape. Its face was shorter than that of today's bear, with a wide skull and enormous jaw that could snap bones easily. This bear's terrifying speed and jaw strength made it an apex predator, likely capable of scavenging kills and hunting large prehistoric bison or even young mammoths. 14. Cynomogale melilutra, the wolf-sized otter. In the ancient wetlands of Asia lived an otter as big as a wolf. The Cynomogale melilutra, which lived around 6 million years ago, was no ordinary otter, but a giant, weighing up to 110 pounds, twice as heavy as any otter you'd see today. Unlike the playful otters we know today, who weigh about 30 pounds and display a curious and playful demeanor, these ancient giants were formidable predators. Their appearance was striking, with robust bodies and broad, powerful jaws lined with sharp teeth designed for crushing. Their size made them twice as heavy as today's otters, and they likely used their strength and large size to dominate the wetlands, preying on fish, mollusks, and perhaps even other small mammals. The thought of a wolf-sized otter with a hunter's gaze gliding silently through murky waters, ready to pounce with lethal precision, paints a primal picture of ancient Earth's wild, untamed nature. 13. Megalodon, the mighty shark. The oceans once hid the most fearsome shark ever to exist, the megalodon. This enormous shark lived between 23 to 3.6 million years ago and could grow up to 60 feet long. This prehistoric shark, whose very name means big tooth, roamed the warm coastal waters from the United States to distant Australia, asserting its dominance without challenge. Imagine a shark nearly 60 feet long, about 3 times the length of the great white shark, the ocean's current apex predator. The megalodon's jaw was so wide it could swallow 2 adults side by side. Its teeth, over 6 inches long, were perfect tools for ripping through the flesh of whales and other large sea creatures that were its primary diet. Seeing a megalodon's massive shadowy form beneath the water's surface, accompanied by its chilling triangular teeth, would strike an instinctual fear into any living being. The very thought of this giant lurking in the deep is enough to make the bravest soul shiver. 12. Glyptodon, the giant armadillo. Imagine an armadillo, but the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. During the Pleistocene epoch, up to about 2.5 million years ago, a remarkable creature called the Glyptodon roamed the grasslands of South America. This prehistoric giant was akin to our modern armadillos, but scaled up to an extraordinary degree. The Glyptodon's covering was a marvel of natural armor, rounded and segmented, resembling a massive stone dome that could weigh up to 2 tons. Beneath this protective covering, the Glyptodon was about 10 feet long, dwarfing today's armadillos, which max out around 5 feet in length, including their tails. Its tail, unlike those of its modern cousins, was also armored and could serve as a lethal club against any threats or rivals. This creature's appearance would not only have been imposing due to its size, but also quite fearsome due to its fortress-like defenses. Encountering a Glyptodon, one would feel like they had traveled back to the age of the dinosaurs. Talking about prehistoric creatures, 7. Josephoria tegesia monesi, the giant capybara. Millions of years ago, specifically around 2 to 4 million years ago, during the Pliocene to early Pleistocene epochs, the grasslands and riverbanks of South America were home to a truly giant rodent known as the Josephagoura asia-monesi. This creature was not just any rodent, it was the largest one to ever live. Akin to the size of a modern buffalo. Compared to today's capybaras, which are already the largest living rodents, weighing around 145 pounds and stretching nearly 4 feet long, Josephagoura asia-monesi was a behemoth. Imagine a rodent so large, measuring up to 10 feet long and weighing around 2,200 pounds. Its size could rival that of some small cars, with powerful jaws and teeth that could grow impressively large. This colossal capybara was not just a gentle grass eater. It's theorized that those large teeth could have been used as much for defense or digging as for feeding, making it a formidable presence on the ancient landscapes. 10. Aepyornis, the elephant bird. On the isolated island of Madagascar, a place known for its unique wildlife, there once lived a bird so large that it defies current-day bird proportions. The Aepyornis, also known as the elephant bird. This gigantic, flightless bird existed up until roughly 1,000 years ago, making it one of the more recent giants of the past. The elephant bird, resembling a massively scaled-up ostrich, stood at heights of up to 10 feet tall and could weigh close to 1,100 pounds. Comparing it to today's largest birds, the ostriches, which can weigh up to 290 pounds and reach heights of around 9 feet, the elephant bird was a veritable giant among giants. It had long, powerful legs that it used likely to thunder through the forests and plains of Madagascar. A small head perched on a long neck, and vestigial wings that hinted at its avian lineage but were useless for flight. The idea of such a creature, towering over humans and capable of a powerful kick, adds a prehistoric dread to the already mysterious landscapes of Madagascar. 9. Dinotherium, the elephant with downward tusk. Over 10 million years ago, during the Miocene to the Pleistocene epochs, the landscape of Europe, Asia, and Africa were roamed by an extraordinary species of elephant known as the Dinotherium, which translates to terrible beast. This giant prehistoric relative of modern elephants stood out not just for its size, but also for its unusual tusk that curved downward from the lower jaw, unlike any creature we see today. Dinotherium could reach up to 13 feet in height at the shoulders, making it one of the largest land mammals ever to walk the earth. Modern African elephants, which are among the largest land animals alive today, can stand up to 11 feet tall, making the Dinotherium significantly larger and bulkier. Its downward curving tusk and robust body, with a large sloping head and relatively short legs, would have made it a fearsome sight. These downward tusks were likely used to pull down branches to strip leaves or to forage for water plants. 8. Daeodon, the brawny pig. North America was once terrorized by Daeodon, a hulking pig-like creature with a massive body and a fearsome snout. Living around 20 million years ago, this creature was not a pig as we know it today, but a member of the Entelodon family, a group of mammals that resembled pigs with a far more robust and fearsome physique. The Daeodon stood about 6 feet tall at the shoulder, dwarfing modern domestic pigs, which rarely exceed a shoulder height of about 2.5 feet. It had a massive, broad skull equipped with a set of powerful jaws and sharp teeth, capable of crushing bones and ripping through tough plant material. This beast was likely the apex predator of its time, feeding on a diverse diet that could include plants, carrion, and smaller animals. The sheer size and formidable appearance of the Daeodon, with its thick-set body, large head, and frightening teeth, would make it a terrifying presence in the ancient ecosystem it inhabited. 7. Megatherium, the giant ground sloth. In South America, the Megatherium, a giant ground sloth, lived until about 12,000 years ago. This giant ground sloth, sometimes called the Great Beast, was also large as a modern elephant, reaching up to 20 feet in length when standing on its hind legs and weighing up to 4 tons. Compared to today's sloths, which are tree-dwelling creatures no bigger than a medium-sized dog, the Megatherium was a true colossus, roaming the grounds with an imposing presence. The appearance of Megatherium was both striking and fearsome. It had a massive, bulky body covered with a coat of thick fur, large, curved-like claws for digging and grabbing branches, and a face that bore a perpetual frown. Its size allowed it to reach high into the trees to feed on leaves and fruits, much like today's giraffes. Yet it was powerful enough to defend itself against predators with formidable strength. The thought of this slow-moving yet powerful creature lumbering through ancient forests, capable of standing upright to tower over other animals. 6. Deinosuchus, the terror crocodile. Around 80 million years ago, during the late Cretaceous period, the waterways of what are now North America housed a creature so fearsome, it was aptly named Deinosuchus, meaning terrible crocodile. This giant reptile stretched as much as 33 feet from snout to tail, rivaling the largest modern crocodiles like the saltwater crocodile, which can reach up to 23 feet but typically are much smaller. Deinosuchus was not just large, it was monstrosely powerful, with a robust body, massive jaws, and teeth the size of bananas. Its appearance would have been downright terrifying, with a broad, rugged snout, armored skin, and a set of jaws capable of exerting incredible force. This prehistoric crocodile likely preyed on dinosaurs that ventured too close to its aquatic homes, ambushing them with a burst of speed and power that belied its unwieldy size. The very presence of Deinosuchus in the rivers and coast of ancient America would have made these areas dangerous zones, where even the largest dinosaurs stepped cautiously. 5. Haast eagle, the sky predator. In New Zealand, the skies were ruled by Haast eagle, the largest eagle known to ever exist. This formidable bird of prey, with a wingspan exceeding up to 10 feet, dwarfed all modern eagles, with the largest today, the Steller sea eagle, boasting a wingspan of about 8 feet. The Haast eagle was not only larger, but also much heavier, weighing up to 30 pounds, whereas modern eagles typically weigh around 20 pounds. The appearance of Haast eagle was as majestic as it was terrifying. It had massive talons, each capable of exerting enormous pressure, and a powerful beak designed to deliver a killing blow. This eagle was a top predator, hunting large, flightless birds like the moa, which it would strike from the sky with lethal precision. Its size and power enabled it to dominate the air and control its territory with an iron talon, making it one of the most fearsome aerial predators of its time. 4. Megalania, the giant lizard. Travel back to the Pleistocene epoch, around 50,000 years ago, across the diverse habitats of Australia, and you'd encounter Megalania, a monstrous lizard that could grow up to 23 feet long. This giant reptile makes the largest modern lizards, like the Komodo dragon, which can reach about 10 feet in length, seem like mere babies by comparison. Megalania was a true giant among reptiles, with a robust muscular body covered in tough, scaly skin. Its appearance was daunting, featuring a broad head with sharp, slicing teeth and powerful limbs equipped with large claws for grappling its prey. As a top predator, Megalania likely hunted a range of animals, using its size and strength to overpower not just smaller lizards and mammals, but potentially even the giant marsupials of its era. The presence of such a colossal predator on the landscape would have been a constant threat to the survival of other animals. 3. Meganora, the enormous dragonfly. Imagine venturing back about 300 million years ago to the Carboniferous period, a time when the Earth's atmosphere was rich in oxygen, which supported the growth of some of the largest insects ever known. Among these giants was the Meganora, a dragonfly-like creature with a wingspan of approximately 2 feet, making it the size of a modern hawk. Meganora's massive size would have made it a dominant predator in the ancient skies. Unlike today's dragonflies, which have wingspans typically no more than a few inches, Meganora's large wings were not just for show. They powered through the air with impressive agility, capable of swooping down to snatch up other insects and perhaps even small amphibians. With its robust spiny legs, moreover to the appearance of Meganora, with its broad translucent wings patterned with veins and long slender body, would have been a spectacular sight in the lush green environments of prehistoric Earth. You think this is amazing? Wait until you see number 1. It'll blow your mind. 2. Gigantopithecus blacki, the gigantic orangutan. Gigantopithecus blacki, possibly the largest ape ever, roamed the forests of Asia around 100,000 to a million years ago. This massive primate, standing possibly up to 10 feet tall and weighing up to 1,200 pounds, makes today's largest living orangutans, which reach around 5.5 feet tall and weigh up to 220 pounds, look modest in comparison. Gigantopithecus blacki had a formidable appearance, with a massive jaw and large, flat teeth suited to its diet of tough plant material. Despite its hulking size, much about its appearance remains a mystery, as only a few jawbones and thousands of teeth have been found. These fragments suggest a robust creature with a powerful build, potentially walking on all fours much like a gorilla, yet capable of standing upright. 1. Titan boa, the monster snake. Over 60 million years ago, after the dinosaurs had vanished, the jungles of South America became the stalking grounds of a new formidable predator, the Titan boa. This colossal serpent, reigning supreme in what is now Colombia, was the largest snake the world has ever seen, stretching up to a staggering 42 feet long. It was more than double the length of the largest anacondas we see today, which can reach up to 20 feet. The Titan boa is not just long, but also unbelievably thick and muscular. Its body, as wide as a grown man, is tall. Its scales, dark and glossy, would catch the faint sunlight flickering down through the thick canopy, giving it a threatening shimmer as it moves silently through the waterways. This giant predator lurked in the ancient swampy waters, using its incredible size and strength to constrict and drown any creature it targeted, swallowing it whole with a jaw that could unhinge to terrifying widths.